good morning, good afternoon, good night, and welcome to another week's episode of EFP, Eat Fruit Pod. All right. I'm your girl, Kay.
I'm your girl, Killa. 4 A's to you.
Listen, and today, it's great time. It's always a great time, but it's just hot as fuck. And I seen this meme the other day, Killa, and it was like, you know, the guy with the bogey, and his head is like this, and he looks super stressed. And it's like, God, whenever you're done cooking, whatever it is you're cooking outside, let me know. I was
Because it's hotter than the devil's jaws.
like I might test a fry egg and just see what happens out
On the
there.
sidewalk here, one time.
How are you dealing with the heat? How's your week going?
I'm a heat lover. This is my time of year. This is the only time Canada's really worth it, and I don't cuss my parents for emigrating here. This is greatness. Like, this is the Super Bowl for Killa.
For real, for real. Loving the red vibe
I have a big old like duvet blanket on my bed.
all the time. That's me. Like throughout all seasons.
I feel like it's a West Indian thing. We're just so used to having to make the bed and have it on the bed that we just never take it out.
I don't know because my mom used to cuss, like legit cuss me for that. She's like, "Why do you still have the heavy sheet? You have the lighter blanket them or the lighter sheet. Why are you using like the winter?" But I'm like, nah, like it's a whole vibe. You have that and your fan on or your AC.
Yeah. Yep. Just put one leg over if you're a little bit too high. You move it off a little bit. You know.
See, that's why we had to hurry up and get our own fucking places and pay our own fucking bills because I had time to argue this point with you of why I need to live in luxury.
Right?
Right. So yeah, it's been a good week. As I said, the weather, like we gotta enjoy as much as we can, guys, because soon we're gonna be complaining about how fucking cold it is. So there's that. Thank you guys for your support last week on the show. It was great feedback. And we got some breaking news. We're going to head into pineapple fruit real early. We got some breaking news literally at the end of when we were recording. So we didn't really get to do a deep dive, but a lot, but not a lot, but a lot has happened since then. So let's get right into it. Bill Cosby was recently released from jail.
Eat fruit and mind your business.
And a lot, it seems like a lot. I don't know if like the algorithms are just pushing the negative more out there, but it was I will say, looking in like my comment section on Downtown World, it was quite a balance of people upset that Cosby has been released and people that were celebrating that he was released. So I feel like a person that got a lot of the smoke with that was Felicia Rashad, which I was kind of sad for her because I was like, we love Felicia Rashad. And why are people just coming for her neck like this? Right? So I want to just read what Felicia said upon Bill Cosby's release that had the internet so up in arms. So she said, finally, in all capital letters with 4 exclamation marks, a terrible wrong is being righted. A miscarriage of justice is corrected. And 384 comments still pending later. We got a lot of amens, a lot of people saying blessings to Mr. Cosby and his family. People saying awesome, clapping hands, but then there are also people putting like trash bucket emojis. Somebody said he's still Bill the Pill. Yeah, a lot of people are just going wild. So Killa, what are your like, how do you feel about it? Just, we can only deal on our opinions. There's no right, there's no wrong. But Bill Cosby's out. He's released.
And that's kind of how we have to have like that as a precursor because there is a lot of emotions about it. It has been very polarizing. For me, I know where my mind went instantly. I'm also going to tell you that I didn't delve as deeply into that case as the average human being because I'm very weary of media and the way they position things. And for me, the whole 360 ends up being they trash the man's name. Whether or not he did or did not do those things, I'm not going to sit here and say he did or he didn't. My vibe is literally they came for the black people's surrogate dad because he tried to buy NBC. And we've seen it enough. Like, I spoke to somebody on Instagram and they were like, oh, you know, you're kind of going off the fact that they did this to Emmett Till, right? And I'm like, baby, we know about Emmett Till. But the fact is, this is a regular tactic. We've lost many black men to this type of behavior. We lost Prince. We lost Dr. Sebi. We lost Nipsey. We lost Michael Jackson. We lost Johnny Cochran, even though they said it was a brain tumor. But cool, we'll leave that one alone. At least that one seems like it's believable. But like, they create this space for us in the media any effing how we choose. And just like they'll turn around, run up in your house and take your father out and hang him right in front of you, or only after they rape your mother, they'll turn around and make Bill Cosby the worst motherfucker on earth and then release him to say, oh, well, now you know your lesson. And now you know where you stand, nigga. You're never, ever going to buy NBCs. And that's what's weighing on me. Are there victims? I'm not going to say there's not. I can't do that. That's not okay. Now, I know motherfuckers were living mad wild back in them days. And he wouldn't have been the only one. Whether you're black, white, yellow, everybody. You sit down and you're watching Mike Tyson on his podcast, and everybody that he has on there that's known him from back in the day was like, shit, I was on one too. I was out here putting Drano on my penis. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Everybody, it was a different time. I'm not excusing anything, but I am saying I'm wary to believe what happens when the lynch mob comes after you. And to me, as black people, as anybody else, it's not just black people anymore. Like, look at an injustice as an injustice instead of looking at a black man as the bottom of the barrel.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, take it in that maybe you might not have been able to look at a human as a human. I don't want to know what happened, because it bothers me that as a person, I have to do that. I have to do what I'm doing, which is like deduct that there very well could just be harm to this man because he's a black man in a position, or that he could have actually harmed somebody as a human being that ain't living right. And that's where I am with it. But for me, like, my vibe is they came for a black man and they put a nigga in his place, and now he's out. And unfortunately, his name has been tarnished in a way that's so polarizing that he's gonna have to live with it, and nobody gives a fuck.
They really don't. They really don't. Wow, you hit everything on the nail, Killer. Like, I agree with everything you said.
So passionate about what we have to go through on a day-to-day basis, and it's like, we can never explain it to people. We just have to like watch it play out. It's hard. It's very difficult.
And I'm watching a bunch of like other black people just being like, everyone's just at a height of emotion. And like, I'm watching a bunch of other black people just being like, oh, looks like I'm gonna have to unfollow quite a bit of y'all and this and that. And I'm like, but this is what we do in our community.
Yeah. And it's, we don't have the opportunity any longer to think that we can stand alone. Like, we need our numbers. So like, these kind of things are a little bit sad when it comes down to like, even we don't want to see our views sometimes. Because it's hard. It's hard to really believe that that's the kind of world that you live in. But you do.
Legit. And, you know, they were also coming for Judge Joe Brown. He sat down with Mark Lamont Hill, and he was just, you know, given that old school realness. And he was all like, and I'm just saying what he's saying. By me saying old school realness does not mean I agree and comply with everything he said. I'm just sharing what he's talking about, paraphrasing. But he was just kind of like, yo, these hoes wanted what they wanted. We supplied it because we had the bread. And it is what it is. We survived, and here's 2021. And in the culture of this entertainment culture, or I realize a lot of people just saying a lot of stuff, they're a part of the masses, versus like when you're in this and you really realize and know how stuff works, you can speak on it being a part of the model and like that part of the entertainment industry, photography. I can speak on it from like a media standpoint, where it's just like, yo, that is a lot of the lifestyle and the culture in there. A lot of these people don't even really, they either take or don't, but like, say if you go to a party with said blank celebrity, they're 98% of the time going to make sure that all of the vices are there, alcoholic vices, drug vices, whatever, to make sure all of their guests on all sides of the spectrum are having a great fucking time. Now, being this shouldn't really be a comparison, but it's just the best one I can think of right now. So having my smart serve, right? I know that during training and things like that, when it comes to alcohol, right? If I'm working at a bar or etc., and people leave, and even if they get in an accident or something on their route home, me as the smart serve or the bartender that served or whatever, I am responsible until they reach home, regardless if I'm the one who brought them home or not. That's how the rules are set up. And I see that those kind of rules are kind of slightly being applied to this sense with like Bill Cosby. And people are saying, oh, they woke up and, you know, they felt a whole bunch of things, a whole lot of descriptive details. And I'm on the fence about a lot, but I do know overall, as you said, Killa, like I know that a black man that was trying to purchase something that would have really changed the game and put a lot more people in position, that was slowly kind of like demonized right in front of our faces, taken away from us, and now that's something on his resume where it makes it a whole lot more difficult to like make a purchase of that stature because of things like that. But people will look at people like Michael Rubin and Robert Kraft that just got off their fully in the massage.
Eat fruit and mind your
You know, and like they're out here popping bottles 4th of July with everyone. Nobody's having an issue, and those are two white men that are known to be outside. So
for me, it's just like we do need to recognize that we've been criminalized in such a way where everybody, even including ourselves, thinks it's normal if we get up into some fucking legal shit, or if we're labeled like the bad guy, we take it on decolonization.
yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's part of it, and it's so sticky. This is why this whole racism shit is insidious. This is insidious. Because at the end of the day, we're just people, and chances are we'll never ever really, really get to the bottom of it. But at the end of it, you will never look at Cliff Huxtable the same way.
No.
And that's
now Felicia, what they're trying to do, because now they put out that it was a whole thing with the university and everything, and they came for her neck, white people in, and now she has to go through, I think, workplace like sexual harassment training, you know, the work, like we've been in corporate, we know what that is. Saving their asses, but like, why would she?
I'm always like, also like something that also has me about this is you have to be careful how quickly when they come like so hard and so direct for your pain points. You know what I'm saying? Like they come for that emotional space that you wouldn't be able to hold your logic on. And that's why it has become so polarizing, because many women have come out and outright said they were they're directly victims, and you're not going to turn around and say, so now prove it. Yeah. You're not going to do that to them, as you shouldn't. Yeah. So like it's always going to be enough hearsay for you to just go with the masses if you're not one to sit down and really
do your research
about it. Or even just think about it on a whole, because like there's always going to be things that don't line up. Like there's always going to be something a little further out. You're going to have to ask, why is that not in alignment with everything else?
And I feel like that's this generation period, because like there's a shoe company that like a lot of people have put blast to known that like they stole a lot of people's money. They were definitely taking a lot of people's bread for sneakers that people never received. And the other day I was passing by one of their locations that's still open, and like there was a full lineup of young people outside just ready to spend bare money on shoes there. And I'm like, that's a clear representation of, once again, not everyone being aware of the fact, like young people don't care. They're just going to take in 5 to 7 seconds of it and be like, this is my opinion. That's what it feels like right now. So it's left to us, like I feel like and even our generation, not even everyone does, like, I feel like that's why to people I come across and you come across so smart, so educated, when really we're just looking at shit that's accessible to everyone, but nobody's doing research, nobody is reading, nobody is taking in what the fuck's going on. And that's why, like, you know, they say you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book, put it in certain places, because niggas are not doing research at all. And no discredit to those women that, you know, are seeking their justice, but I'm happy Bill Cosby's out. And that is where I'll stand. I don't know what much purpose it is now that his health is more dwindled and all of these things, but nah, we can't do Cosby like that.
We did, actually.
We did.
But he got done like that. Even his freedom is almost like a, so you know yourself now, right?
Yeah, he should not have known.
It's like they left him out, and now he's open to just having his estate sued left, right, and center.
Yeah, that was.
And if I just called it, remember I'm an oracle, but just like Kay said, like, just do your effing research. Like, the trails always go back to the same place. They've been shooting people carte blanche in the streets and not convicting their police officers. And you think that this isn't possible? Why? For real, like, take your pain and process it, because these are the things that are happening around you, and it's not going to stop until you can say this is happening around me. Like, you're going to have to be able to call the elephant an elephant.
And also just like being in this media position, and like the more I realize how much like power it is to really be in a media position, like it's a lot more responsibility than a lot of these people just going on Instagram and creating a page and saying they have a blog. Like, it's a lot more responsibility, maybe at first, that I didn't even like realize, but the power of what you put out there, the objective you put it, and depending on how much power in a community you have, it can really sway or alter how people view the situation. Even if, like, I could literally lick this pen, 20 different outlets can put out me licking the pen, but they will not, like, if they decide to fuck with me, it will be a good vision of me licking a pen. If it's 15 places or 20 places that decide that, oh, fuck this girl for licking a pen, she's that, she's this, she's that, da 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 da, like, if they will come for your neck. So prayers out to his family, prayers out to him, and prayers out to the victims involved in the situation that, you know, felt like, yo, they literally just watched on the news to say this man is being released today. But what I do know is that when someone's coming out, and with the amount of lawyers and everything you had going on, it wasn't a surprise to you that he was possibly going to be coming out very soon. So I'll stick a pin. Well, no, because you know when someone's coming out, like the bin or whatever, it's very easy to spread across, or for someone's team to get notified to be like, yo, let's put in an injunction, let's put in a whatever. So though some of them were saying it was to my shock that I just came on and he was walking out, like, I don't know.
But also, like, when does that type of favor get granted to a Black person? But also, they released him after all of this compelling evidence just for the sake of releasing him. What happened to all that compelling evidence? Like, what the F is really going on here?
Really? What the hell is going on here? Movie. Oh, there's just a lot happening. But I'll kind of, this isn't really light, but I'll just bring it in there. So Ari, and she's mostly known for like being a YouTuber, influencer. She's also known a lot as Moneybagg Yo's girlfriend or woman, right? They don't have any children together, but like together.
There's children with somebody else, yeah. She does have children.
Yeah, with G Herbo. So that's her baby father. But she is now with her and Waka have been together, it feels like, for quite some time now. So she recently everyone kind of knows, when she has parties and stuff close to like Jada Cheeves, they go hard. Like, I always like to see how they put their events together, parties together, you know, influencer shit. So she has been prepping for her Players Ball birthday party, themed birthday party that's coming out. You know how these girls want to be no waist, all the things. So she put out a tweet, but I know her to be like joking a lot and stuff, but you know the internet's gonna take everything, like everything, you know. But she put out, the fact that I'm making everybody starve themselves and take laxatives for my party is insane, with about like 7 laughing emojis. Now, on one side, ha 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 ha, that's hilarious because everybody gotta look slick and thick and thin and all of the things. But I just wanted to be serious for a little bit about it because when I was younger, I did suffer a lot with like body positivity and food related mental health illness. So seeing something like that is triggering to be like, yo, that is not the way to go. And for a mind that maybe is have like easily influenced, that's something that maybe could be very what is the word I'm looking for? Influential to a young person seeing that, or just a person seeing that in general, right? Um, what do you think of that statement, Killer? Just her sharing that on our social media.
Well, for me, it's, yeah, she's an influencer. A lot of people do follow her and watch to see what she's up to.
Or how she looks, so how she got to
all of it. But that to me is just kind of like, you can't turn on the TV and watch people on TV and take them at like face level kind of thing. Like I see that and I want to say, hey, as a role model, you're irresponsible. But at the same time, I want to look at her and say, but you've never really presented yourself as the best role model. You've presented yourself as somebody who's having fun in the spotlight, which is cool. And if that's what I liked about you, then I have to know that right now, because that was actually like a bit cringy. It's like, what you talking about, man? Yeah, and that's just the way I look at it, that maybe you should be looking a little closer to your circle to find people to be looking up to. And when you have that, maybe these people can just stay entertainment the way that they're trying to kind of just be entertainment.
1000. Yeah, 1000% Killer, because it's just like she's not someone that I look up to, who I whatever, but girls that have fun, that look like they're having a great time. Look, keyword look. Yeah, like that's what's happening. That's what's happening, right? And I just wanted to say out there to women that maybe are struggling with loving themselves more, like, please don't look at stuff like that and feel like, yo, that's what I gotta do now to like feel comfortable, whatever. Like, I myself has been very transparent about during this pandemic, like, I've gained weight. I know I haven't been eating the best. I've gained weight. It's been up and down. Some days I drink 4 liters of water, some days I drink just a cup. But like, it's all about balance and just making sure that we're doing the things that make us feel good, and just being someone that had to deal with body positivity and like having family members that were really scared about how it was happening and like would literally watch me eating, is you're like, you better listen. You better keep that in you. We're not playing with you. Like, it's really in here. It's really in here. As much as you think it's out here, it's really in here. So even though I know Ari was joking, she's not looking for no comfort, still my spirit says I'm sending out a big, huge hug to her, lots of love to her, and love to all of you. Because I know what that is, but not that I'm using her as an example, but a lot of women right now are dieting or things or doing things to make themselves, you know what I mean? Summertime fine, whatever ways we coin those phrases, but we do a lot of crazy shit to like get there. And it's like, just if COVID hasn't taught you that already, just like be happy with that fupa. If you're not, like, as I said, drink tea, exercise, like do things that will actually kind of guide you and help you, but it really starts from within. Sincerely, I learned that the hard way.
100%. Also, like, don't watch people like who said they look like they're having fun, because like whatever that culture is, laxatives and starving yourself, there comes a point where you learn that your best bet is going to be kind with yourself. So when you're going through things like you're abusing laxatives and you're starving yourself, that's kind of like, that's abuse.
It is.
So like, that's not a mindset you want to like hop onto, even if you have body goals. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, just learn in this day and age not to watch face, but yeah, go with it. Go with it and like figure out how you really feel about that fupa. You know what I mean? Do you hate it, or do you feel like you're being conditioned to hate it?
And don't also project that on other women. Like, because I see a lot of women like slandering Ari and like coming for her neck, as they usually can't wait for opportunity to do that because she's just so fine.
Also, like, very visible. Like, if you're a visible figure, they're aiming shots nonstop.
You know what I mean? And I just like don't project that on another woman. You like, Hilly, you said it perfectly last week, and I literally want that to be a consistent theme, like just going throughout. When you were, I wish I can remember the way you said it last week, but when you were talking about just like don't leave me out there to like try. Like, how did you say it?
Don't let me die.
Yeah, don't let me die. Like, you see that with Ari, I'm able to send her love and light and be like, you look great, Ma, but I hope that you're just eating and doing things and, you know, within,
Mm-hmm.
then without, period. You know, so don't let each other die. Let's not like, even us sharing this was not to like, oh, let's bash Ari. It was more of just like, I want to bring awareness to what I know a lot of what we do to ourselves as women. So I'm not going to sit here and bash her. I've definitely gone through those phases where like I was telling Killa a while ago, like when like it was at a height for me. Like, mans didn't want to see nothing. I used to say washboard. Okay. Like, I literally was not eating nothing until I felt I was going to like faint. Then I would like nibble a piece of cheese. Like, that shit is not okay. It's not okay. So yes, I'm not the size that I want to be at. I look at Killa and I'm like, God damn, I wish I could look like that. But that's not how God has cut my cookie right now. And I just have to, one, buy clothes that suit my size and just go to the way I look. So I thank God for, as well, once again, people like Killa my life, they'd be like, all right, this, you know, you can dress good. Perfect example, people in the States, they be all types of sizes. But when them dress,
ready. Mm-hmm.
Yep. 240, 300, 125, all looking great.
Yep.
So, love and light to all you queens. I know we all want to look great in our outfits and wear the belly skin and all these things, but let's just love ourselves within and without. And if that's how you really feel, then go for that walk today for at least a half an hour. Make sure that heartbeat is up. Make sure if that's the case, drink so much water till when you go like this, you can literally hear the water trickling in your belly so that you're pissing and shitting all day. But please, like, don't abuse yourself. Just love yourself, because that's really what Dr. Oz was explaining. Even that lower pouch that we always have an issue with, that stress, that's all that shit's within. So once again, sorry, Killa, what were you gonna say?
My other thing is, understand that as women, the whole situation has been set up for none of us to be happy with ourselves. Okay? A lot of girls say they want my metabolism, but they really wouldn't want to have every sentence about their looks preceded followed with, but she's too skinny.
For real?
Oh yeah, but remember, I'm West Indian, I'm Jamaican.
That's true. Everybody thinks you're MAGA.
This isn't cute. That's not cute. No matter how much ass I have, like, that's all I have. And this shirt is covering it right now. Like, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wasn't made to feel like I was beautiful either. In fact, I kind of feel like it's almost like when you see a woman, you instantly go for her confidence. You just have to make sure her confidence doesn't touch it. Like, you know, like you're trying to put a ceiling on her confidence. There's a lot of negging. When the niggas neg, I get upset. So, like, you got to think about that not even Barbie couldn't walk if she was real. You know what I'm saying? Drake loves BBLs or BBWs, sorry. West Indian men think that I'm a malnutrition scarecrow. You just gotta be happy with who you are.
And also, like, you know, I'm so excited that Coily Ray is like getting as popular as she is, because she's someone that's like considered mager, skinny, like you, Killa. If anything, she's even like skinnier. And like, I love the fact that Pressa is with her, and he like, I can't speak for no one, but based on what I'm seeing, like he kind of like has her on a pedestal, and it's just like, it's not. I bet a lot of girls that love Pressa and stuff like that would think they would have to look a certain type of fit into a certain, but no, it's in you. Like the sauce is within you. So yeah, don't stress it. And with me saying that, I'm also speaking to myself because, as I said, we are all guilty of going through that. But just love yourself.
Because when the world keeps saying like no, you kind of do have to be able to come back and be like, I choose me, I choose me, I choose me. So yes.
I used to be like what, almost triple DE, and like I let the world's perception and like how they would make me feel so uncomfortable about something that God literally birthed me with, which was big ass boobs, and I went under the knife to think I could solve that issue. Now nobody will say nothing. I'll be perfect. And one, I gained back the weight. It's not as big as they were, but like I gained back the weight, and like, to be honest, it wasn't until I was like just decided to be like, yo, fuck y'all. Like, this is just my boobs. Like, why do you have, I literally now started like responding back to like, why does my chest bother you so much? Like, no, it cannot, I cannot put it away. It cannot go nowhere, because that's usually what people will say. Put it away. Like, nah, bitch, this is me. And it's more majority of the time women. So don't let me die. Let's love ourselves. We see, like, I have no issues telling Killa how fly she looks. She has no issues telling me what she was like, I look fly. So let's not do that to each other. Let's just continue to love on each other, because that is the key.
100%.
Like, and you ever look at like old school music videos, and I just look at the women like, damn, y'all were so gorgeous and beautiful, and like it doesn't look like that anymore. And not that I hate it here, but I kind of do.
You know what it is? Like they showcase women. This babe is gonna have me coughing. So, like when they used to showcase women back in the day, yeah, they were gorgeous, but they had some kind of talent. Like,
Killa, drink some water. Oh my god, like your chest is wrong.
I'm like, it ain't going down like that.
Your chest is like, help me, help me.
I know, sucker. I know. Yeah, but it's just,
you know those ones that you're trying to hold in the cough, like.
But I'm not. I'm trying to like stop it from exploding into a million little coughs that never ever stop.
I'm sorry, Killa.
Okay, so once again,
yes,
we've lost our train of thought.
No, we did it.
Where were we?
We were talking about just body positivity, and I was saying like just, you know, the fact that I went under the knife under peer pressure, and the bitch pretty much still looks the same. So
I was probably saying, you know what, you just gotta love yourself.
Period. Pineapple fruit. We're going forward now. Jay-Z, Rockefeller, Dame Dash. It's forever ongoing thing. This NFT situation we were talking about a couple episodes ago. But I know I was sharing with you that Dame Dash just recently did an interview with Social Proof Podcast with David, the Sleepers for Suckers guy. And it was a really great interview. Shout outs to David, because I already just love his podcast, his show. Shout outs to Donnie. They always just have great information. And as we said, we hate when like we ask people things and like, bro, we know that's not the answer. Like, answer what I'm asking you. Like, you know, too much paywall. Just sometimes a lot of people lose the authenticity of what they originally started with, because they've now created so many paywalls. It's just not even an experience for people anymore. So shout outs to David, because he asks the questions that you want to know, things that you want to know the answer to. So I always appreciate that. Now, with that being said, Dame Dash recently sat with him, and that was great. It was fucking amazing, because I'm like, David will ask the things I want to know. Like, all right, nigga. So just, I don't know how to go around, so I'm just, and David's gonna be like, all right, nigga, since you're bold enough to ask,
here's your answer.
let me look at you up and down. Do I? Yep, I'll give you the answer. And that's what happened. So,
in a nutshell.
And I'll be fair to be like, this is just 1/3 side of the story, but I was happy to really get a good hour-long experience from Dame to be like, all right. And were you able to watch the episode?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, same. I love that podcast. David and Donnie, love you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They're good.
Thank you.
But it's like,
for me.
Dame was like literally fresh out from court, so everything was real hot, boy. Like, you're wearing the perfect color today. Everything was just really fresh in the man system. So it was great. Now, first things first. I know before Killa and I were kind of going back and forth about like what is what, and we were both right. So exactly what we said. Dame is not doing anything he can't do, and Jigga's not doing anything that he can't do in terms of the sale of their thirds of Rockefeller. Now, what I didn't know was that, I guess it was news, but for whatever reason, I didn't really know that Dame Dash is still the active CEO of Rockefeller. Yeah, he's still acting CEO of Rockefeller Inc., which has a board. So one of the first things that came to my mind was, okay, so one, who's a part of this board? I already know, okay, Biggs, Dame, Jigga. I'm not sure who else will be on the list, but for sure we know those three are part of the board, right? So my thing is, if it's such a thing all these years, then clearly somebody keeps voting for this nigga every year to still be acting CEO of this board. So that was a huge thing as well, because if it was such a thing, the board would just vote him out, and they could just have the whole thing, and there will be no issues. Well, not no issues, but okay. Secondly, Dame, there's so much. Okay. But pretty much it was like a thing of bad press. So what we were seeing, what Dame was trying to explain, was a thing of bad press. So they didn't even really necessarily stop what he was trying to do in terms of selling his third of Rockefeller. So that's what you were confused about. So he was trying to NFT his third of Rockefeller Inc., which includes the Reasonable Doubt entity.
A third, right.
So they were just titling, and media was mediating, but that's what it was. So I'm trying to choose my words so carefully because we love both of these gentlemen. But it's just like Dame said in the interview, it was a thing of, he saw the press releases, whatever, you had the opportunity to say whatever, and it was just a battle of who can get out. Like I said, it could be 20 different press junkets about one thing, who sides with who, whatever. You're going to see that play out. And then we, the masses, now are going to see that. And you have to as well do the research, or else when you see certain headlines, you're going to be like, oh, Dame is hot trash. Like, how, right? So without me babbling on further, just Killa, what did you make of the interview? A lot of points and things to discuss, but I feel like David did a great job just giving a full scope of like, all right, this is the premise of how it started. This is your agreement y'all had. This is what's kind of happening now. What is going to happen moving forward?
Right. I what I was getting from that, it was awesome. First and foremost, what I got from it is there's 3 sides to every story: your side, my side, and the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It was nice to hear Dame's side. Now I kept asking what happened, and now I'm realizing that it's not necessarily a what happened. It's a shit never got patched up from time. So like it's always been happening. It's not even about the NFT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Dame was basically creating like a situation of a story where
niggas are still making bags off Rockefeller Inc. So like that's what it is. Niggas are making bags or creating bags still off of Rockefeller Inc. separately, even though they're not together anymore. So it's just like certain bags that come across as like, oh, this is like ooh, maybe you can't do this one on your own. That's where the friction comes.
But even from what he was saying, it's almost like they saw something go out within some internal mail. And I'm not gonna lie, it seemed that way after I seen Jay drop his. It was just like, you did something, recognizing that he was doing something, and you stayed within the confines, so there's no issues. But even in him throwing it out while everything was in junction, it was just, that's what it seemed like to me. Like they didn't even really necessarily have the knowledge of what Dame Dash was actually doing. They just seemed that he was making a move. Now, for me, I had to look at even the original allegations. One thing that didn't change is that Dame Dash is a man that doesn't own his entire catalog for himself. So he'll never be able to do like an Ivy or an Usher or a Shakira and sell like a whole entire album and make a whole bunch of cake off of it. So for him, when he said that he wanted to sell the shit off from time, and it was like nobody else wanted to do it, they didn't want it to do it. They also didn't want to do it together. So he said, fuck it. Like, I'm trying to let go of you guys now. So I want to let go of my share. I was just like, that to me was also very apparent. That's also where I was like, what happened? Because he is essentially jumping ship on his biggest piece of work. He is. He's jumping ship. And like, and he
I don't think so. I don't think so. I feel like he's always been very transparent about like his side of what's happening there. He has Dame Dash Studios, which in my opinion is very lucrative. He has a lot going on there. The app, you're able to, see all things like that. But as well, like, regardless if he sells it or not, niggas will always see him and know and think Rockefeller, that era of hip hop. Like, that's never a question for him, right? I really think, and he said it, right? And David said it too. It's just like, bro, naturally, he's known as this forward thinking guy. He has access to this. He's known as the, I don't want to say innovator tech guy, but just for lack of better words right now, the nigga to do that in the industry. Usually one of the first ones to be like, all right, this is where this ship goes now. This is where you niggas can come and join me now. We're here. Like, and he was doing that with the NFT. And as I said, I think it's just a matter of niggas saw the bag or maybe the notoriety he would have got from it was just like, nah, I'm not giving you that. That's me. That's my praise. That's my play.
I definitely see that being possible because he was basically documented that as something that he was noticing coming from that side over and over. But for me, he actually outright said, I was trying to get rid of Rockefeller. I don't want anything to do with that right now. I'd like to let go of it.
I don't remember him saying that.
He was just like, when he was talking about the fact that he was not getting rid of that the NFT was actually his ownership.
Yes, he was talking about he even offered.
Yeah.
Or there was an offer or something. Because even David made a joke and was like, he's like, you got the bag, so why you ask? Yeah, I remember. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. When he was, what was he saying? He said that that's when he was like, you guys don't want to do it together, so but you don't want me to do it apart, but I'm just trying to let go of that. Like I'm just trying to leave that alone now. And I was like, and that's what it is. The man's trying to offload you because you guys are a good business for him.
So I thought you might appreciate this part. When Dave started going off and saying they were trying to colonize his company or colonize him, I was like, killer. He's like, and sometimes is he a Libra?
I keep forgetting to look.
But I just feel like, bro, I get what he's saying.
I don't think he's a Libra.
I get both sides of it. Like, where he's just like, bro, you have this white man coming. Like, who are you, bro? I'm the CEO of this. And I understand, I don't want to say Jigga's avoiding, but he's not giving that man that face to face because he knows Dame will have all the cameras, the action ready. He ain't afraid to back down, where we haven't seen Jigga in that light in a very long time. So he's not gonna put himself in that position. I don't want to say to get played that way, but you know what I mean? I just feel like Dame has a lot of things to say that either Jigga gonna have to respond or be like, so what? So, you know, what he was like, huh?
He's a Taurus.
Oh.
And he is a Taurus. Oh, me, oh my.
When is Taurus again?
End of April to mid-May. Beginning
They
of
say
May.
Tauruses are actually very compatible with Libras.
Because they're both run by Venus.
Because I was like, we have a lot of similarities.
Yeah,
but
we get pretty vibes with each other because of Venus, but we're cardinal, which means we're pivotal, and they're fixed, which means they're super grounded. So when we're balanced, yeah, we're good with each other, but when we're not balanced, those motherfuckers, OMG.
Wow.
Ma'am.
Wow.
Oh, ma'am.
Wow.
And
So,
that, like, his business sense now makes sense.
right? So, yeah. So he was talking about that and basically like, you're not going to have no white man come and tell me what to do. So they basically went to court again. And he said he didn't mind anything. And that's what they think. So it's just a whole bunch of back and forth, back and forth. We're going to just have to see how it plays out. But it was great to see that conversation. You guys should definitely check it out, just to get a full scope of like what was happening there. But pretty much it's just a game of who is a better lawyer.
And that's pretty much what he said. It all comes down to the J unit.
Facts. So what I found interesting as well, in some further news, is the Chanel bags have gone up an additional 15% up since the pandemic started 2019, you could say. So this would have been about their third round of price adjustment since that has happened. Now, you may say, why are you sharing this? Who the fuck cares about Chanel bags? But it is, I feel like, a more grand representation of what's just happening in the merchandise economy and their suppliers, because just like everyone else running their merch businesses on like our level, Chanel, those entities are also doing the same. The only advantage is that they have as well, of course, is a bigger marketing network, and they may have in-house production. They have their own production house, right? Versus like us still having to branch out. But look at that. A company as big as Chanel is still having to be like, you know what? Our suppliers have raised some prices on us. It's harder for us to access certain one of our materials because we don't want to fire nobody. We don't want to let go anyone. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to increase the price of our luxury item again because niggas already know what it is. So they going to pay this price. We're not going to go on sale. We're not going to go on sale, but we are going to increase, not a second time, but a third time. So what do you make of that, Killa?
For me, I say that that's very plausible, but I also see a company that hasn't been able to make money off of runways, that hasn't been able to make money specifically off of award shows. There's been no Met Gala. There's been none of that to really push what they do and what they have. And I'm seeing a luxury brand that isn't necessarily going to be that high on the mind share for the people that are buying right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I see that almost as like a luxury label saying we're gonna raise our prices. We're gonna attach ourselves to that entitlement some more, so you remember that we're a luxury brand as well, and you love certain things that we push out because they're classic. Like you see Birkin low-key making plays with Migos. You know what I'm saying? And like Birkin has been good like that. They have been placing themselves in the hip hop community to be relevant. but like Chanel's not necessarily doing that. They're not necessarily getting pushed the same way. And I just kind of see a fashion house that doesn't have all their lanes, and like that's something that they can be. For me.
Facts. And I also just like, I was looking at it, as I said, we both have businesses. A lot of you ladies out there that watch us, you have your own businesses. And I was just like, look at that. This company didn't go on sale. They didn't lower the price. They didn't drop their market value. What they did was increase that hoe and say, y'all niggas gonna pay this price regardless. And this is not, as I said, the first time during the pandemic that a lot of people are saying there's no money to be made. There's no this, there's no that. That a company of this stature is saying we're increasing it. You got to meet us where we're at. And I took that as a lesson for myself and to point it out for others, to just be like, I know a lot of you have your businesses, and that's not the only tactic. Sales is not always the best tactic to use when it comes to increasing more or getting more revenue for your brand. There are lots of other tactics as well. And I just want to share that prime example with everyone, because as a luxury brand, we all know a lot of people, I still want my Chanel vintage bag. A lot of, so it's just like, look at that, use that as an example, especially those of you who have merchandise that people probably wear, where you don't necessarily always have to be doing a buy one, get for free, or this percent off or that percent off, because it's not always helping your brand out. If anything, it's kind of doing the opposite.
Word. Just take it in, during this pandemic, the rich got richer, and that is how they did it. They got bullish.
But a lot of you millionaires remain, and we're still able to be on that list if y'all are serious. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? To be honest, like I was saying last year, Killa, when was it last year or the year before, when the pandemic was starting, and I was talking about all the courses I was finding online and just being inside, and then doing this whole thing with like the Zoom and everything like that, where it's just like, all right, a lot of y'all are outside just complaining to this and that, but I'm like, yo, I'm trying to come out of this on some like Madam CJ Walker shit. And by the end of this, we gonna have some 6-figure, 7-figure niggas out of this, because it is more than possible. And it's like, you just have to put yourself in a space to think, clear your mind, clear your spirit, get in tune, and get with it. So that was just for some food for thought, but I just wanted to share that with everyone. And yeah, apply that where you may, but that is what it is. So when we look at dispensaries now, shout out to my trees lovers, my flower lovers. And Killa, you were just sharing the fact of it being a glorified trap house. I remember years ago before we had the website, I'll just wait for that to pass. Years ago, before we had the website, and I would just write a whole bunch of articles and release them on Tumblr. And when kind of like the first essence of they were announcing the whole legalization or decriminalization of marijuana, and I released an article talking about the same very thing, and with dispensaries and like our love or lack of love for the weed man, and will you be going to the dispensary? And now it's about like 4 years later. I gotta find that article and repost it. What do they call it? Refurbish it, put it out there, because I feel like I tapped into the future. But a lot of y'all forgot about the plug, and you went and got these Tylenol. You're getting these Tylenol trees, these Advil lace trees, and you're gonna start seeing a lot of differences with your body, feeling a lot of different things. You're gonna be wondering why, and not really considering the fact that like you smoking some different shit, and it's very important, in my opinion, and as I said in the article years ago, to keep the plug alive. Like, don't discredit those people. Keep the streets alive, because the streets will always win in the end. It may not look like that way on the forefront, but watch. When shit starts becoming more digital and it's more like, you don't even have a bank card now. It's on your phone. So you're forced to have this or that or the next. Who's going to take your cash? So what were your thoughts on this, Killa?
So I saw it as a meme on Insta, and that's basically what it was. It was like, Dispensaries ain't nothing but gentrified trap houses, and I'm not taking no arguments on this one.
Facts.
And I was like, brilliant. There are no arguments on that. Absolutely. Even the way it rolled out, like all of a sudden we had dispensaries almost everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, like a Tim Hortons now.
No, but even before that, like it was almost everywhere.
Yeah,
people putting their money, and then all of a sudden it was you all have to shut down. Even the way they came about in the city, like the mayor acted shocked. How the hell is a business gonna open? The way like Canada is so up your ass and around the corner for every little piece of thing you could possibly be doing to make money. You're telling me people move weed shops out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, they were just like, well, we're allowed to open weed shops now. So we're gonna go in. And the mayor said, I didn't know this was happening. And I was like, come on. So even in seeing those plays, it was like they did whatever they could to build that monopoly, and then now you see them everywhere like salt, and that's what it is. Like you guys are fucking shutting down these people, rating them every week, taking their databases, taking their CPUs and shit like that, just so they couldn't make money, because you really didn't have any business shutting them down. And this is like, you guys need to really take in your law system. This is your legal system that sat down and like harassed honest business owners until they could monopolize the market. And now we have the gentrified trap houses. And I'm happy that there's a weed man or like a weed shop down the street. Please believe I still have like at least three weed man's numbers. I don't play like, and it's still the same as it always was. There's some rolling contacts. Sometimes they're not in because they're not the most reliable, but they'll fill in with one of those if all for some godforsaken reason, all three of the mains aren't available or whatever. Like, I smoke a lot. I can't be bothered to like take on the government for my weed smoking habits. But also like weed is something that was for the people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it wasn't just for the people. It's always known to be like for the down bottom nigga. You know what I'm saying? But like somehow now it's the best thing for you because apparently we knew what the fuck was up. So I would never ever lose the weed man's number just for that little bit of information. Like it's for the people, and like if you keep it for the people, like they'll never really be able to control it, even though there's one on every fucking corner.
Right. So on top of that, the world just wants to be super cheese because Sha'Carri just done off bare mans on the Zaza. And it's not funny at all. It's not funny at all. She done off bare mans on the Zaza, as we usually do. So that whole stereotype of, oh, weed does it. No, your weed.
No, you know what? Your fucking capacity. Don't blame the weed for your shit.
When they found out, oh, Shorty beat records and did all that, and she had trees in her, oh, no. We can't let her come to Tokyo.
That's not what it is. They're so wicked. They're low-key, like, get out of your old ways, man. Get out of them.
So I just want to be fair. You know, shout out to that queen. We love you. I'm rooting for you. So she ended up getting a month suspension. And I think she said she'll be able to do world championship, something like that. But she will not be able to do the Tokyo 2021 Olympics, right? With that being said, you know, knowing certain people just in the athletic field, that world is very serious. And I know what we feel on the outside looking in. Come on, her mom just died. That's mean. That's ridiculous. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I've also, like, as I said, talked to and been with people that, around people that are a part of that athletic world, like on that scope and level. And it's very serious. Like your coach is literally letting you know, yo, you can't bust a nut this week. And you can't, because it will show, like, it's very serious in that world, right? Not to say, as we said, a lot of other people haven't been booked taking substances and using that to enhance their performance on the Olympic stage. But, while we know this was definitely not that at all. But I just want to throw that fact in there just to, even though we know what is right, that world is just like that. And unfortunately, Shorty, you got caught slipping. Someone did not bring you to get you the proper remedies to get it out in less than 24 hours, you know, all the things. And that's unfortunate. But on a grander level, I'm looking at this story and it's just so beautiful regardless. Because when she comes back, she's going to come back harder with the vengeance, be ready. And now she has time to heal that maybe she wasn't taking and forcing and pushing herself through this. But God sometimes, in a way that we don't even realize, takes us and says, you got to sit down and heal a little bit more inside for a bit. And while she's strong and we're seeing it as a beautiful force, and the reporter let her know her mom passed away, she's like, I'm gonna win this race for my mama and all of that. She's still, as she said, I am human. And I'm a firm believer. I don't need anyone to agree with me, but I'm a firm believer in just, it seems hella weird, hella crazy. Like, why is this happening now? Why would she do that? Whatever. But things, a lot of our times, I love Shakespearean plays. A lot of the times we watch things and we see the foreshadowing of things happening, whatever, but it's not up to us. It's up to God. And for whatever reason, she was supposed to give us that, rest for a bit, and possibly come back later. But wishing her all the best regardless. I'm happy for her. And regardless of what everyone has to say, she still won in my eyes. And any true athlete will not be happy with that race because they won't get to race the real person that they wanted to be.
No, I think everybody who actually gets on the podium is going to be happy that they got on the podium in the Olympics. I just kind of feel like they could have Michael Phelps the situation a little bit.
But she was ginger and the nails and things. They wouldn't go do that.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be the difference.
Not for us.
Not for us. But I'm still going to say, so that's the difference. Okay, cool. As long as we call a spade a spade. And then, yeah, well, everything happens the way it's supposed to. Everything you said, I'm totally down for that. I just added the 2 cents on the. But Michael Phelps still, and he was great too. But I mean, Sha'Carri. It's interesting that the race that she missed is like the 100 or something, and it's supposed to be one of the most prestigious races. So like when you win that, like you end up on the cereal box.
Yeah.
So you see it. They're just like,
yeah.
No.
We don't want to see all of that on our.
We can't give those girls that. We can't.
It irked them that they had to take the time to look on the spaceport to find that not the comma, the hyphen, to spell her name correctly. That's what cheesed them. But shout out to you, Queen. We love you. I still feel like you won regardless because you won our hearts. You won the hearts of the people. And we are rooting for you on whatever fucking race you do. And that's just the energy Black people come with. So now it's just like, well, you guys made your choice. Just nope. Every race moving forward, everybody's just going to be like, Sha'Carri. So shout out to you, Queen. And Killa, you can introduce our next topic. Where's the love?
Which one? Oh, wait, in Toronto?
Yes. Seems like you have to get some things off your chest.
Toronto. The dating scene in Toronto.
Is there one?
Can we call whatever this slapped, mishmashed, can't even call it communication. So I don't know, like we're tribal dance. Is it a tribal dance? Can we call it that?
I feel like gay people are the only like the LGBTQ community are the only people having a lit ass fucking time in that world right now. I live vicariously through all of my friends.
And this is what I'm seeing. And like I'm having conversations with them now because I need somebody to talk to, and like they've always taught me the things, you know what I mean? Like they've helped me to blossom as a woman. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? Like, I had to let it off and just little things. You know what I'm saying? Because where I'm personally at right now is I'm not expecting you to be the one. I'm not even expecting you. That's so sweet. I'm not even expecting you to be my team. I want no ownership. let's just kick it. Let's just see what happens. Let's just create a fun space, a mutual fun space. But
And
there's
the LGBTQ community, for the most part, understands that. Everyone comes with the rules already understood.
men. I'm guessing men are in crisis all over the world, but Toronto, like I don't know what the factors are. I don't know how it came to be the way that it is. You're known for it. Like people come from other provinces, and we're known to have men that don't have no manners and don't put no work in to get what they say they want. We're not even gonna go that deep. It's just right now the atmosphere is very disconnected.
It's
And like
her.
it's immature at this point. I'm not gonna say it's disconnected and we have to get back the aura that's connecting or whatever. Yeah, sure, at some point. But this shit is a lack of growth somewhere. Or this is just like an excess of trauma that you're not dealing with. But like at this point in the game, even if you know you're not trying to settle down, you should be able to connect and have a good 2-3 hours. You know what I mean?
Bruh. I have this guy, like, don't even talk to homie. And out of nowhere, just in the DMs, like, oh, now that stage 2 is happening, like, we should go out for dinner. Like, I must swell you. And I'm like, first of all,
did you do your research?
not even that. First of all, think about it. If this is the game y'all niggas are on and this is what you're pitching out to ladies, at least talk to her at some point during the pandemic. Number one. Okay? Don't just pop up and be like, so the news Duckford said, yo, Friday, shit's open, so.
The band just hey.
Yeah. Okay? Secondly, just don't do that. Like, chivalry is not dead. And I feel like this is a great time if you're trying to attract someone in your space to do it. Like, people have been, think about it this way, people have been stuck inside, lack of communication, lack of like mannerisms or just human interaction. So like even the most basic things will probably carry you or bring you much closer to the point you're trying to look for than normal. Open a door, pull out a chair. Like,
she just gave you the game. Like, and it's not, the mind.
It was great despite being inside for so long.
But like, this is why I'm saying it's very young now. Like, it's a very immature place now where you don't think that should come with courting a woman. Like, or courting a woman shouldn't even be a thing. Like, you should be able to just holler her over and she twats over to you. And then like whatever you download into her ear is how it goes down. Like,
no.
I mean, and like I wish it could.
No, that doesn't work because of the mask. If you're still wearing one, I am. You know, so it's just really like, gentlemen, please, like what is happening? It's just sad out here. It's disgusting, and a lot of you men are just having a very lack of effort, and it shows. And I feel like the women are kind of doing their part. They're getting their skin, their bodies together. Even the women too. Like, if you're trying to invite a gentleman into your space or female, whoever into your space, to enjoy some adult time, like chivalry is not dead. Like females, you can tell a man he looks good. Actually, a lot of niggas don't even know how to deal with that. You just see them melt like butter right in front of you and they're ready to empty the pockets for you. Like, it's not that hard. It's not.
You know, like, be kind, and also like put out into your environment and your universe what you desire to see. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do that. That's great. Gentlemen, though, let's at least not be savage. Let's have clean draws. Let's make sure that these ladies don't have to feel a ways about being out here in these streets. as grown women. Okay? They don't want to be the one that's running you down because where you at? Because where's the formula? Where's the this? Oh, whose baby mother is that? Like they don't want to be on that rah shit. You know what I'm saying? You can run through this town, but if you did it with some form of respect, you know what I mean?
Facts. 1,000.
And I think like there's all these. I think it comes along with gender roles. Like men think they're being men, and you're being a woman if you do this, and this. So like your cubby hole as well, and that's where it's like toxic. So for them, it's just like your sexuality or your interest for the opposite sex isn't necessarily sparked until they come and say, "Boop, I'm ready for you." You know?
I'm just saying, I don't know about for you, Kayla, but like post-pandemic, not that it's over, but it just like it already took a lot to make this pussy wet, but like it's gonna take a lot more. You know what I mean? We're talking affiliate codes, we're talking cryptocurrencies, we're talking some things. So listen, listen. I don't speak for every female. Not all are attaining to the same things, but like this plate does not come empty. So,
and that's the point. That's low key the whole situation. It's like we can't keep selling ourselves short, ladies. There's so many of them. Trust me, and like they're all on the same frequency. They're all on the same thing. Like, don't even worry about it.
Because a lot of us are like, we're ready to give it up. Like, we're ready.
I get it. It's that whole princess thing. Like, he's gonna change for me.
Fuck that.
Perfect lack of boundaries, baby girl. I said what I said.
And I know a lot of sharing is happening this summer. A lot of sharing is happening. So you guys, please be careful. Wrap it up. You know, all the things. How do you feel about oral sex?
Personally,
now, like with how everything is, because I feel like before a while people would just be letting, I don't want to say anyone, but people just give them head, both male, female, like just oral sex, all that. But I'm like, now with COVID, like, is that different for you?
It isn't, because I actually enjoy oral. So like I do take it seriously. Like you would have to get tested to get oral, right?
So is it that you're looking for someone to show you that they're negative before you enter oral sex with them? Because like I feel like that.
Well, like people aren't getting to know each other the way that they really should. Like because I don't really feel like shit's happening organically as much anymore. And yeah, it's the pandemic, but even before that, like connections were like not as tight as they should have been. And I don't really care to make a connection with most people at this point, because a lot of people are rooted in, I don't want your weight. You know what I mean? Like I do work to stay light, but I'm human, and sometimes I just want to go frolic kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's not.
I feel like the perfect to describe this whole conversation for me is Need to Know by Doja Cat. And that like just sums up everything I'm thinking, feeling, and that y'all need to understand. So, wanna know what it's like? Yeah, it's on the playlist, guys. Bashment Summer out. Y'all probably should have streamed the thing by now. It's a ting. You know, you get your hip hop, reggae, soca, soul jazz. So you got the full CD. Okay, the full CD. So yeah, but.
Yeah, I just.
What do you want to say close to that? Yeah.
Close to that is just like maybe rethink old boundaries, old guidelines. Maybe you should rethink like where you stand within your sexual realm. You know what I'm saying? And when you're honest with yourself on that, start reaching out to people and seeing if you're aligning anywhere. And start maybe moving in that direction where there's more compatibility.
And I know you did mention apps. I'm not sure if it's the same for like the heterosexual community, but like I know TikTok, a lot of people are saying a lot of promising connections happening over there. So take a gander.
Okay. What is TikTok not doing for the people right now?
Listen, I'm telling you.
TikTok is just giving.
Giving and giving and giving. So that I'll say is pineapple fruit for this week. It was a great fucking time. I feel like we've talked about just enough of what needs to be talked about. But one of my favorite times, okay, we gonna get into some play on Vogue for this week. So let's go. Play on Vogue for this week, Killa. It's your let's do it.
So this has absolutely nothing to do with Play on Vogue, but I just want all Toronto mans to know that when you run that fake New York accent, it makes my ears cringe. I bleed a little bit inside. And it's because I know what you're trying to do. And I always ask you to put your hood up instantly. And you never, ever have a block to put up.
Shout outs to Snacks. We just Downtown Music, we just dropped an interview together. He's representing for Rochester. So it was like very sonically pleasing to just hear him talk because his is real.
Right?
You can take a gander over there if you like.
So that has absolutely nothing to do with anything. I was just like running through the old days and whatnot, and just like the way New York influences people's lives. And I have to like, sometimes people say I'm fiery, but I feel like as a Libra, like that's not really a Libra thing. Like we're not fiery, like we're smooth. You know what I mean? Like we're a little more like we're airy, you know? We're air signs, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like we're air signs.
Yeah, I think it's air.
So I never really want to like say I'm fiery, but I have to feel like I got some grip just from like running around.
You definitely have fire in us. No questions asked. But it's not like at the forefront.
I'll take it.
We don't lead with it.
Interesting. Well,
like there's not a Libra that I know that off the rip they're like,
yeah.
It usually takes something to ignite us and then be like, you know what? Enough is enough. Like I wasn't even gonna say nothing because I know I burn and gash fire. But since you want to play, here we are, and that's usually a Libra.
That is very true. I will take that 100%. Yeah. So like always running down the days and the ways, and it keeps coming back now because I'm so much older and I don't look my age. So I'm constantly having to like reel myself back from like humping somebody in the back of the head for trying to deal with me like I'm stupid just because I could possibly be young.
Facts.
Right. So like I'm rolling back to the days when I was actually dealing with grown-ups when I shouldn't have been dealing with grown-ups. But I dealt with grown-ups and it was like it was good for my skill set. It wasn't necessarily good for my psyche, but it was good for my skill set.
Yeah.
And in all these transitions and blah, 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 I'm like, holy shit, I officially feel like I'm in a place where I can call myself a photographer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put in a certain amount of work, but also
definitely
I've been on the other side for so many years. And it's just really cool to see where it is now, where it was literally something that was getting me through a time where like I didn't have any support. So I started taking pictures. I started taking pictures of Miss Candy Apple. Shout out to Candy for being my original muse. We dropped some bangers and like I didn't even have my own fucking camera those times. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm sitting here and I'm planning shoots myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm getting
like I've always asked you to do photos. I feel like even before you've officially been like, because I'm just like, kill it. You just know what to do. Fuck.
Yeah, you do. You're just like, okay, so we're gonna go here when you come, and we're gonna go here, and we're gonna check this out.
Legit.
And I'm always like, yes, location. But yeah, and like just in the little bit of time that I've been putting it out there that I actually do it, I've gotten so much support, and just almost like I've been trying to figure out where and how my eye kind of like falls into the grand scheme of things. And the main thing that everybody kind of tells you when you're trying to or when you're new at it is just remember that it's art and it's your point of view and you're allowed to do whatever you want with it.
Facts.
And now for the first time I'm like, oh, and I wanna niche down a little bit. So now I'm going to niche down into branding photography. Everything else that I do is basically gonna be creative and for fun, but it's gonna be a nice little ride. And as much as I didn't necessarily really like modeling itself, what it brought, like it made me a businesswoman. You know what I mean? But it didn't just make me a businesswoman, it also made me somebody who's very like street smart, very street savvy. Like
you learned a lot of your skills.
Yeah, like that ability to just say no. Yeah, I always had it, but that reinforced it. Like having to believe that I had the right to say that to people who should have been seen as authority figures. And then I have to realize like I've been dealing with white men from I was like in my teens, like dealing directly with white men since I was in my teens. And that's why when I have no problem but to tell my manager what she needs to know before I take her to HR, because I'm not going to take her to HR. I'm going to tell her exactly what she looks like to me and how she sounds and why she is actually racist and needs some boundaries.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Why I can actually do that and have like operate with the emotional intelligence that I can operate with. I had a friend and she was like, yo, I'm going to get a host job. Like, is there anything like I should know? And one of the things I told her is emotional intelligence will always like trump or have you handling racism. Like let your emotional intelligence handle racism for you.
Facts.
And I have to be really grateful to being put in those situations, even though I shouldn't have been. I will not take away from that, but just the resolve and the lessons and everything that it taught me, and like basically the boundary system. Like my life didn't give me a boundary system outright. You know what I mean? Like I
You
could
feel
say
that way?
my household didn't. My household didn't give me a boundary system. I went out and I got boundary systems from other places. And like having to trust my gut in a boardroom, like I had to go off of instinct on that shit.
It's true.
It's like, it don't feel good. It feels like, and like Dame was talking about like, how's this white man gonna come in and try to trick me out of my shit? And when you're like Killa felt that yeah, you see that? And it's one of those like, hey, I'm used to dealing with people. Let me see if I can get him to do it this time.
It froze for a second. Could you say that again? Sorry.
Where did I?
Just your last sentence just now.
Where did I end up at?
It's okay. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I saw it.
Okay.
No, I saw it. Like you just everything changed.
Yeah.
But that's just what they do. Like it's just like, let me see. Like I got your nose, and you're like, no, you got your index finger and your middle finger, and you have your own thumb. Like it's always a smoke and mirrors. But yeah, right now for Play on Vogue, it's a looking back and being really grateful, and it tends to be that from time to time. But I'm appreciating it more and more as I'm older. Even having like invoices, I don't even remember when I did those. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I remember because I've always had to deal with invoices. So having an invoice wouldn't be shit. Just like the little foundation that it gave me, like I don't really try hard like I'm supposed to, and I'm slow as fuck. So to have those little things that actually help situate me, I'm super, super grateful. So that's the note that I'm gonna end Play on Vogue for, is just like that experience was so like valuable. Invaluable, is that a word? Is it
I feel like
invaluable?
it is.
So valuable that it's just invaluable kind of thing. Like,
there's nothing that could put a cap on like learning. Yeah,
and especially when you realize that like you go into situations, you go into institutions, and their job is to make sure that you don't excel the same way that everybody else does. It's nice to say, well, hey,
yeah.
all these years I had all this knowledge. I've been moving a certain way because I learned this, this, and that. And it was knowledge you can't take from me. Like, you can't modify that from me because it was my experience. It's not just about that piece of paper.
It isn't. There's so much more.
Yeah, man. So gratitude. I end a Play on Vogue with gratitude.
Gratitude. Always, always. I always say I gotta check myself a lot of the times because I'm like, look at everything I'm doing. Like, if I knew me, I would love me. I would da 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 and this and that and the next. But you realize that a lot of times people are silent because they're afraid. They're afraid of what you're about to do next, and it's sad because while I celebrate everyone while they're in those spaces and never feeling intimidated, um, unfortunately, that is the case for others. So gratitude, just lead with gratitude, whether it's like given to me or not. And I feel like it does. It just creates so much more of a peaceful feeling for me on a continuous basis as opposed to and it helps to lessen my anxiety a lot when I lead with that as opposed to the other things, because then that just builds up the anxiety more. Just personally for me, like what's been helping.
It's almost scientific.
Legit. But yeah.
That would impart your solar plexus. Like, that makes perfect sense.
Yep. So a lot of it is more connected than people realize. So I'm just giving out that energy because that's all I want in return. Yeah. I don't give out no hate, no none of that because yeah. Don't need to.
100%.
All right, Killa. So you said that's your play on Vogue for this week?
That's the Play on Vogue. We end in gratitude.
So I will say, you guys, thank you again for your support. I know you guys are enjoying Loving Bashment summer playlist. Continue to stream. Plus, we have the other 6 playlists. It is all available. www.downtownworld.com. You're also able to stream the playlist on YouTube and watch our full episodes there as well. Also, you guys are able to support me at get your official Downtown World merch at www.downtownworld.com/shop, or you can go shop downtown on Instagram, get your Eat Fruit Mind Your Business or your Downtown OG shirts. And thank you guys for all your support and everything in advance. Killa, let everyone know.
Right, so we got the Sant Lisi Skin Butter Scrubs, all natural, Motorola in the kitchen whip insomnia, so it's attracting.
Yeah.
We have icy little tings for the waist beads. It's a summertime ting, but really it's just to adorn yourself and feel beautiful, queen. Like, feel your worth first thing in the morning. It's a blessed experience. And then last but not least, we have Big Killa on IG and .com, 4 A's to you.
I love that.
This is a new print. I don't know if it's dropping.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's like you did a bigger version of the Pablo Escobar type one, but I love it. It's different. Pet lovers will love that too.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So we don't know how it's going.
That dog is eating fruit, minding his business.
Fucking A, bro.
I remember you were telling me the story about the dog, and I'm like, I love that you captured.
I captured. But yeah, you know what? Thank God somebody had ingenuity to like take a picture of this. But yeah, there's other less intimate
Like,
pictures.
that is so soft. Like, it's art. It's wearable art. I love it.
And that's basically what the consensus has been. But like I said, I don't know if it's a thing. I don't know if it's a one of two, because my dude Rodney, he asked for it and he has to get it just because, penis. I had a chat group that was Magic Pussy, and I had a chat group and it was penis, and somebody from penis asked for it, so he's definitely gonna get it. We'll see if what he says the reaction is, then we'll see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we love you. Sending you love and light, and thank you for supporting us, EFP family. Let us know what you think about the conversations we had, your opinions about it, what you feel like we've missed, and thank you again as well, all y'all, for your continuous support. Eat fruit, mind your business, and we out.